Hello, this is Julie Phillips, Nature-Based Teaching Instructor, and you are viewing our Nature-Based Teaching free product, A Teacher's Guide to the Greenhouse Effect and Climate Change Overview. So why teach about climate science in your classes? Why is teaching climate science important to you and your students, whether it be at the elementary school level, middle school, high school, or college level? We're learning about climate change and climate science more and more in the news. We're seeing more debates occurring at the national level, the international level, locally, more policies being initiated. So why are these things important? And why is it becoming more apparent that this is important every day? Climate science may well be one of the most important topics in lesson plans for us and for all of our students. Climate science teaches us about how our Earth, in this case the Earth's troposphere, which is a part of the atmosphere, works and how it sustains life on Earth. This lesson also teaches how humans are impacting the Earth's atmosphere, as well as solutions to those challenges. And you think, oh my gosh, how could humans possibly impact our atmosphere? Well, we're going to learn about that. You know, the atmosphere is so vast and huge. How could we, as these beings, possibly interact with the atmosphere? And so that's going to become apparent as you go through this process. Well, after learning about these challenges many, many years ago, I was convinced it was essential to teach climate science in my classes. I also wanted to teach this aspect of science in a way that reaches all students. At the same time, my husband Stuart and I became aware early on in the early 70s of these challenges with climate science and so on. And so we began down this journey of looking at our own personal lives as well. My husband Stuart, who became a general contractor, began to look at the concept of passive solar design and green building in the construction industry for residential, for homes. He was very interested in how do we design energy efficient homes using passive solar design and green building strategies that use very little energy or minimizes their impact on the environment. So we got to eventually live in these homes and experience this incredible building that you could create houses that basically interact with the sun, that are extremely efficient. And you'll learn about those more in some of our products. We have products on our website on green building and Stuart's incredible work on green building, his green building guide and lesson plan, as well as on his passive solar guide and passive solar lesson plan that will really assist you in kind of getting the bigger picture if you'd like to look at that. So over the years of teaching climate science, I developed an approach that is understandable and accessible, I believe, to teachers and all students. I found it actually engages the students and helps them understand the science behind our climate, as well engaging students in discovering solutions to these climate challenges that are ahead. And that's a big part of it. Not just telling about the problems and the challenges, but how do we become a part of the solution? And that's where students become really engaged. My approach worked, and as a result, many of our students were directly involved in applying what they'd learned in the classroom to an actual case study at a local community college, where they helped eventually create policies and facilities, including classrooms, in an academic institution, again, that models energy efficiency, renewable energy, green building, passive solar design, sustainability, and most important, community and civic engagement. These students can look back and say, hey, I was a part of building one of the first LEED Platinum buildings in a California community college system. I was part of helping establish policies that meant that every building after that was looked at was going to be looked at in terms of energy efficiency and different aspects of renewable energy, and how could we begin to generate our own electricity possibly on the campus. So again, students became actively engaged in an actual case study, which is a part of our lesson plans that I'll be mentioning in a little bit. So my climate science lesson plan, diagrams, drawings, and illustrations provide you with an understandable overview of climate science and also an approach to teach these topics that actively engages your students. So now I'd like to give you a brief overview of this product. You can see it up here in front of you. Again, it's a teacher's guide to the greenhouse effect and climate change overview, and it's our free product. There are 3 drawings here, and each one is symbolizing different aspects of how the climate works, as well as including how the greenhouse effect works. The first image shows the lower layer of the Earth's atmosphere, which is called the troposphere. The troposphere is where you find weather and climate. And you can see here on the box on the left that all life on Earth is dependent upon the one-way flow of energy from the sun, demonstrated here, and also the cycling of nutrients, which is critical to this whole concept. We're totally dependent upon the sun and the cycling of these nutrients, including carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, and so on, for life on Earth. The second image then shows you the lower layer of the shows you the natural occurring greenhouse effect that occurs again in the lower layer of the atmosphere, in the troposphere. And these greenhouse gases trap heat, which actually warms the Earth's surface. This is a natural occurring process. Without this, there'd be no life on Earth. The third image shows you the impact of human activities, including the burning of fossil fuels, which are coal, oil, and natural gas, on the greenhouse effect in the lower atmosphere. As humans continue to burn fossil fuels, we are causing an increase in these greenhouse gases, which is trapping more heat in the lower atmosphere. Our reliance on non-renewable forms of energy, again the burning of coal, oil, and natural gas, is causing changes in the composition of the atmosphere, in this case the lower atmosphere, and this is often referred to as climate change. You'll also hear other terms like global warming, global cooling, and so on, but climate change is the most accurate because it means humans are changing the climate. And we're seeing this at a global level. Some places will get warmer, some places will get colder, some places will get wetter, some places will get drier. There'll be more weather extremes. And so humans are impacting this, so the best term probably to use is climate change. For a more in-depth and detailed overview of this critical topic and lesson plan, I've developed a series of climate science products that include weekly climate science topics, team activities, lessons, case studies, community and civic engagement opportunities, and applied learning. So each of our climate science products also includes a video recording, and I think these video recordings are really important to assist you in teaching these topics and engaging your students or family members or yourself on this critical topic. Our climate science products include, and you can see these on our website, our nature-based teaching website, on the top tab under lesson plans. On the drop-down menu, you'll see lesson plans, and you click the one that says climate science. Product 12.1 is a 21-week lesson plan. It's 9 pages long, including an approach that gets your students engaged and involved in these critical lessons. It includes course objectives, activities, and more. Product 12.2 is the free product. That's the product that you see today. Product 12.3, the 5 drawings and diagrams covering a detailed aspects of climate science teaching, which assists you in sketching and drawing and explaining these complex topics with your students. It's about 5 pages long, and I find it extremely helpful. And again, it took me many years to develop these drawings and diagrams, but they work, and to watch the impact on students is amazing when they're actively engaged in this process. Product 12.4 is the carbon cycle illustration. It's 1 page. It gives you a nice overview and illustration of the cycle. A critical part of climate science is the carbon cycle. Product 12.5 is a carbon cycle drawing, which again will assist you in how do I sketch and draw and describe and discuss this with students. It's very, very helpful. So these products and this approach makes climate science accessible to all students, to us, to all of us, and engages all of us in a very important discussion. So I hope these products help you. I hope this free product overview has been helpful to you as well. And again, thank you for visiting our site.